raw power, or is that too spicy?
If you do that, you still have to put into account that the Elder Titan will smash your face in, right? So an Undying player needs to be confident that he can win this lane. I think safer option, play the Undying with the Drow. Like I'm not sure. Right. I know that the Undying exactly. I know Undying is annoying versus 2 melee heroes, especially 2 strength melee heroes. But the thing is, Elder Titan will run at your face, and there is a chance that he's winning those trades, right? And then your choice to put him in the offlane sucks. So unless you're confident in knowing the matchup and how it's going to go, don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at, as you said, like 2 strength heroes. You want something that has additive armor. Timbersaw feels like it's the exact thing that we're looking for. We'll see if Nigma ends up banning it out. Slardar, also something that I've liked versus the Sven, also builds additive armor. They actually ban out the Enigma here, so trying to lessen the team fight, make sure they're the ones that have the bigger circles.
Pretty much. I'm still thinking where Secret wants to put this Pango. I'm kind of leaning more towards it being a Rabel hero. Let me check, has he been playing Pango lately? Yeah, he does. What about Cloud?
Didn't we just see one of those?
Cloud does it as well.
Oh yeah. It's more like I look at this Magnus and I'm like, this is an acceptable lane. So I feel like you still have answers for everything that Nigma have thrown so far. So you're able to save your 24 pick for an answer to the Sven. I guess unless Nigma pull out something pretty spicy here, what we're looking for an offlaner. Is there anything that can throw the secret lineup for a loop?
A great hero would be a Darkseer here. The Sven, whenever he's in the meta, the Darkseer and the Centaur are his best combos because they allow him to, when he jumps in, to get out as well. But they will be protecting the Pango with the Beastmaster. I feel like this is a Darkseer pickup if Noob wants to play it. He isn't like super hot on the Darkseer, but I feel like he can make it work.
Okay.
He doesn't play it at all, though. I cannot find any of the Darkseer.
Okay, it could be a little bit rough. I mean, they also have a Shaman here, so maybe they do something that kind of capitalizes on that lockdown, or you go for more of a solo laner, since we saw last time these mid lane rotations with Shaman and Magnus are very powerful.
What you do here? Axe is banned out. You mentioned the Slardar or something that gets into the Drow's face, like...
I thought Slardar would be great actually for Secret into the Sven, but I can take that also and say maybe both teams want it. I feel like honestly Slardar into the Drow is similar with like Troll into the Slardar, where you just don't get to get close enough to do the things you want.
I'm not sure. Like, I would have loved the Darkseer if this was VP.
Right, yeah.
I'd be like, this is a Darkseer 100%.
Oh, they're slamming it, yeah.
Yeah, but because he doesn't play it, then it might even be warranted to get rid of it, because Cloud does play it. Though not an insane pick for Secret. Not bad either.
Yeah. Oh, they banned out the Timber. Okay. Oh. Sigma again. If it's not Darkseer.
Then it's Doom.
Not gonna be Axe.
Doom, Mars. Those are the none of them are like perfect for me, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's good? A Primal Beast. Primal Beast is actually good.
I can see that.
That's a good
I can't believe it. I was thinking of this maybe for Secret. I didn't think that Nigma would actually want it. But I suppose you look at these heroes, if you do get on top of them, they don't kite away from the Donald very well. So, I mean, Magnus could get a nice RP into Donald. I could feel pretty good.
So,
5 seconds
can you
remaining.
Maybe just pick a Monkey here in the mid lane? Monkey's actually quite good. That's quite good, because you can always be behind the Drow. And your Boundless Strike is solid in stopping the Magnus. You get a Yules in the Dark Willow, skewering her back is not going to be easy. I actually wouldn't mind it if you want to put the Pango in the offlane.
You could also see, I think Abba offlane, if that's something that you want to do on Cloud. That could be pretty good.
You know what's it? A Brewmaster. Cloud plays a Brewmaster. It purges off the Sven armor.
Choose your hero.
I never would have guessed that. Is that an offlane Undying then?
I was about to say, I think this is telling me offlane Undying, and it looks like it is. So he is taking it. I mean, come on, man. There's 4 strength heroes. It's too good to be true if you're an Undying player. It's also a lot of melee too. It feels like your Tombstone is going to be scaling pretty well for you. But Undying, constantly thought of as this like kind of fragile hero as we get into this mid game. Doesn't really know as much what to do if you're not playing around Tombstone. How does he make himself relevant for all stages of this game?
Well, Undying, if he gets a good start, this hero can just run at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have any Tombstone heroes really on Nigma Galaxy. Like they suck. And even if the Sven gets the Echo Saber and the Mask of Madness, you do not want to be using your 500 hits for a Tombstone. You just don't want to do it. So I think I'm loving this for Secret. It only comes down to I'm not sure how the lane goes. I feel like it can go well because even when the Elder Titan is running at Cloud, Theo can do a good job at preventing him. But you never know. You know, 2 versus 2 lanes are sometimes hard to predict.
Yeah, and so that's pretty important then, since you're saying that like the Undying, it's what he takes away from Nigma that's more important, not necessarily what items he gets for himself. So if they do end up winning this lane somehow, with the Sven and the ET running everybody down, then all of a sudden this Cloud game is just impossible.
Yeah, it becomes hard for him and he becomes an easy kill, right? You cannot allow that to happen. You need to make sure that this Undying is tanky enough so that he can posture aggressively, he can go forward. One thing the Team Secret's lineup are missing is a lot of damage if the Drow isn't present. So you really need to kind of lead your team into fights as this Drow Ranger, and then a lot of things need to go right? Theo needs to have a Yule Scepter, prevent the Magnus from skewering the Drow Ranger back. It kind of has to happen all the time. The Clockwork Puppy always needs to be ready to go and jump in, right? From the side, close to the Drow Ranger, so that she can bring out the damage. So a lot of things need to go well for Team Secret, but there is... This lineup, its ceiling is unreal, right? It can demolish anything.
Absolutely. I think we've been focusing so much on the vision, the initiation for both these teams, and Clockwork. What a better hero, right? To kind of participate more in the vision game, owning for your team. So I don't love that we had this, like, of course, Dirge Drow combo, maybe one of the best safe laners in the game, and you're kind of like switching that away. But it's hard not to acknowledge how good of a game this Undying could have with more farm, with more gold. Is Clockwork the melee hero that you want with a Drow in this lane if you can't have Undying, or did they maybe leave a little bit on the table to make sure they have the game? Oh, okay.
Clockwork is actually annoying versus both the Shadow Shaman and the Dawnbreaker, right? You're stopping the Starbreaker, you're stopping the Shackles. It makes sense, right? So I'm down for the Clockwork. It's great. The problem is Secret has this exact same issue as in the previous game. Their wave clearing is not great, so they are gonna have to posture aggressively. This is again a hard to execute lineup with an amazing ceiling, so I'd say a little bit easier than a troll lineup because there's less things that you can actually mess up. But there's still a lot of things that you can mess up, and there's still a lot of opportunities for Nigma to just split push you, use this Dawnbreaker to play another side of the map, and then just hunt you down. I think that's going to be their name of the game. So strong laning stage, Secret, let's go, apply pressure from the very start.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna say that Drow with items is unequivocally going to win this game, but I actually don't know if that's true, right? There's a good amount. I mean, the unfortunate thing about 4 melee heroes is 4 heroes that want to build a Blink Dagger, some form of mobility to get on top of you, and also Sven having that additional armor that he gets with his E. You're not going to be pumping necessarily the same way that we saw this Drow pumping the Troll Warlord last game, since it was all base armor getting stripped away by the ET even before this marksmanship even procced.
Basically, you have 22 armor from the usage of the war card when Sven is level 20, and then you have extra 6, right? So 28 armor in total for everybody, which the piercing shot does not pierce, right? So Sven is generally a really, really good hero versus the Drow Ranger.
And that's not even considering the Superman we could end up seeing here if it gets too good. But this lane, I'm interested, right? As you said, the briefcase could be pretty strong. It's not like Undying is going to have a ton of protection if they do get on top of him. But at the same time, Cloud, you want to go Soul Rune in this lane. That'll be a slight amount of extra armor. And if you continue, right, with the decays, there should never be enough damage from these 2 heroes to kill you.
Now we could see now the CS there. We have gotten acquainted with the facets. Nothing too out of the ordinary. 04 Ghost isn't really getting that many CS, and only 2 CS with now the wave pushing towards Cloud. This is going to be a problem. GH hasn't really been able to secure it, so he's been fighting Theo, and Cloud is completely fine with that.
Yeah. I can't. Oh, what on? Guys, this is not the lane. this is nowhere close. What is this? What is Omar doing?
He's punching Puppy.
I see. I feel like Secret is okay with this, right? I mean, it's Dawn and the Drown. Drown just gets the click for free. I feel like she's okay.
It's fine.
Oh,
that's close. Sumail is actually crushing this mid lane. I expect a little bit more from the Pango, but yeah, I guess Magnus, he has so much damage. Yeah, he has so much damage. Doing a good job, and he's not really a hero. Magnus doesn't have amazing armor, but he has decent armor, so it's not like the Pango will destroy you with the spells.
Oh, that is a really good silence. You don't often see that at level 3.
You have to.
But
you have to versus the Dawnbreaker. It's not even a question. Versus the Dawnbreaker, sometimes you even get like level 2. That's how hard it is to play versus this hero. Because if he gets on top of you, you're in trouble. Especially when Omar is pulling Puppy to a tier 3.
Yeah. See, with the sampler and Drow, that's also not common. Usually if you do this, you're going like 2-1-0, right? You just like foregoing the multi-shot, but yeah, it'll look a lot more normal as we get into level 4 and 5, but gotta get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get seeing more and more points in the Frost Arrows.
So far, CS looking pretty good all around for the Radiant side lane. But we just got to get this a little bit more on the Sven, right? He's the one that might have a bit of an issue. Of course, versus this Undying. He's already trying to pull for himself. Never the greatest sign. GH, I mean, he's trying to make space, right? He's trying to step forward. He's been kind of trading with Theolacor, but unfortunately, like, Cloud is the one that needs answered.
Overall, though, a pretty slow start to the game, and kind of even right mid lane. It's Sumail that is crushing it. On the bottom lane, Nigma Galaxy, they're suffering, but Sven's suffering is actually a problem. Pango suffering, fine, not ideal, but he's still gonna have his Rolling Thunder. Whereas Sven suffering, we talked about it yesterday. This is a pretty momentum-based hero. In this game in particular, yes, you can move into the late game, but in the early mid game where you should be at your strongest, you're really not gonna be feeling that great.
I mean, Sven is so much about this, Mask of Madness echo timing. That's where so much of your farm is coming from. If you don't get it too early, it can feel like you're just constantly farming, never actually able to enter these fights safely.
And that's gonna feel kind of bad, but I feel like he's not on his own in this game. Both the Magnus and the Dawnbreaker can scale quite nicely, both of their supports as well, so...
it is Max Sven. A lot of cleave damage in these fights if they get to that point.
Is this a solo kill?
Nice.
No.
It shouldn't be enough mana on Sumail to get it done. And yeah, there it is. Has more than enough heal on Rival. Unless he steps forward again, all right? Then he might die if he tries to step up.
Yeah, that's level 3 shockwave, but now you just have to walk towards the boundary room, losing the wave in the process, making this Sumail lane even greater.
Big briefcase, but he's got plenty of move speed thanks to that spirit. Oh, the Bramble, it does connect. The Theolacor, he actually gets the first blood on GH. Really well done from him. He's been playing a very good Willow across this entire qualifier.
Yeah, but overall, GH has stepped it up in that lane. He has really started putting his body in front so that the Sven can farm, and really it has worked out. The Sven has kind of equalized the CS and even the net worth with the Undying, so no longer is he the struggling one. I feel like, yeah, First Blood, giving that away, it's not great, but it is for a purpose of your Sven having a better time.
Yeah. Rotations in the mid lane here.
Nice deny.
Oh, Rival. Really nice deny.
Wants to play around Sumail. Sumail is going to be doing so much damage because of the natural hero in this game.
Oh, should get the kill here. Theolacor, yeah, gonna get skewered. And there's a DD bottom. I don't think you're gonna be able to stop it. Yeah, Sumail's gonna pick that up. Maybe even just popping it right away just to get that extra regen. So,
2 games in a row, I'm just seeing a Dark Willow being skewered and dying. That's the thing. I think if Secret gets to a game 3, that they're going to be banning this Magnus, and VP should also, looking at this series, be thinking if Nigma Galaxy goes through, we don't want to play versus this. So Male is having a godly performance.
He's utilizing every part of this Magnus. Get great lane stages, and I feel like that's something. Oh no, not the flag bearer. What?
What happened?
Why did she TP away?
Who's afraid of the clockwork coming close?
Huh. Interesting. Very cautious from her, but now I'm not really anywhere close to the wisdom. Looks like that won't come back to bite them. Just 2 splits, and I mean, both these supports, right? Like, I'm pretty sure much everybody in this game actually really loves their ultimates, so good for them splitting this up.
Yeah, for sure. The Cloud is not laning well in this bottom lane any longer. I feel like this is gonna become a problem for Secret. He's not this dominant Undying that you would have expected.
Really surprised. Is that, have we seen a good Tombstone engagement yet? I feel like we should be looking for a Tomb plus Bramble, try to get some good trades, but yeah, I guess that really hasn't been happening.
He hasn't used it at all. He's just been trying to smack the Sven around a little bit in LCS, and hasn't been able to do it.
Well, speaking of smacking around here, there is an RP available. Sumail trying to get closer to this drown. Looks like the slow. It could be enough. RP connecting, but here comes the roll, actually stopping everything from going through right now. Dawnbreaker connecting on the ulti as well. They now have the shackle down. There's simply too much lockdown for her to live in this engagement. Now Rival with the swash away. Even that might not be enough. They're diving into the tier 1 tower. Nigma, he may have gone too far, but the Olacor, he comes in with the helpful TP, and Omar, he might be the sacrifice for going too far into the tower here.
That's fine, you're just forcing out those TPs, so now if these supports move away, the Drow Ranger staying in the lane is going to become very, very difficult. I really like how Noob played that, moving to the side and making sure that he's stunning the Pango, stopping in his tracks for the Rolling Thunder, and then the Drow Ranger is just helpless at that point.
And Undying, even though he has been behind in the CS, he's at least forcing Ghost off the wave. They desperately need, right? I mean, Ghost, he's perfectly fine. 9 minutes, already at 3,500 net. He'll have a perfectly good Mask of Madness echo timing. If you're not careful with this Sven, his farm can just completely leap off the map. There's so many camps across the river that'll farm very quickly. Additive Ancients as well. It's all high value.
Poppy doesn't have any vision. If he had some wards here, leaving them here would be great, because then you can punish Ghost or at least push him away from time to time. Without any vision, you are incapable of doing so in Cloud. And you don't want to be farming with an Undying. You want to be punching people in the face. Not again.
True. Oh, this is dangerous. Kiritich, you've already died once. Your game is okay with that one. Your game just goes to and a little bit rough knowing how you started.
I started off pretty well for him, and now it's pretty bad. And we talked about Secret needing to posture aggressively in this game. This is... it doesn't look like they'll be able to. At least they're gonna get GH. That's something.
Yes. I do have Dawnbreaker actually just cleared a camp. TP back to base with the ulti, so ready to get on in. If there was just one more hero around, I think they actually could have turned that one with the Dawn ult, but no reason to risk it.
Nope, you kind of want to wait with the Dawnbreaker and play around Sumail, because that's going to be giving you the most kills, and really you want this Magnus to be strong. He's going to be your main guy that is hunting now when he gets the Fling Dagger before Omar has his, and that's somewhere down the line, not really close to happening. So you usually want to enable him, and just farming on the Dawnbreaker until that happens is great. You can see the thing with Galaxy, they know exactly what they want. Play around the mid lane. We care about this tower. The bottom one doesn't interest us too much.
That was like a level of role swap, to be honest, where instead of Sumail being the one that's kind of like farming and then showing up to engagements, the Dawnbreaker will be taking a lot of that space. And honestly, Noob has been doing well whenever he gets farm. I can't say I disagree with him.
Yeah, I think this is a smart approach. He's building into a Blade Mail, even more extra armor. You have the phase boots, you have the Blade Mail, piercing shot. It's not gonna touch you. Ghost is under vision though, but other than the Undying, nobody here to really punish him. Smoke on smoke.
Clear.
Where's the top lane? This is a chance for Secret to turn it around if Drow can survive long enough, and they're bringing in the heroes.
Right, that's the big if. Beautiful silence from her, honestly, to create some space, and now Omar
Should be
maybe not able to do anything. We're still waiting on 6 from Puppies, who's not able to hookshot into this one. They're going to shackle up the Dark Willow. Need a little bit more. They'll get the kill on Omar first, and now Rival, he's being safe, right? Doesn't want to jump into something he can't get out of.
Awesome from Enigma Galaxy. Last game, they got surprised by this move from Secret, and Secret overtook the game. Remember, it was the exact same movement. They're going towards the top lane, and Secret are mirroring it and then winning a huge fight. This time around, Enigma Galaxy, as soon as they see that a lot of heroes are missing and that the Drow Ranger, their initial engagement didn't work out, they bail. Losing one hero there is really not that big of a deal.
Puppy maybe baited a little bit by the illusion, but regardless, they're just playing for the rune anyways.
And they're gonna get unlucky. It's gonna be Enigma Galaxy who secures the region.
And a lot of pains. They are still really focusing on the mid lane right now.
They want this tower. If Enigma Galaxy gets the mid lane tower, Secret getting theirs, it's gonna be next to impossible, right? Next to a Magnus, you don't have your access point, you don't have your place to TP in the heroes. It becomes very dangerous. So I like that Secret are bringing in so many heroes to defend this.
They need to. The stacks, they're just gonna disappear if you're not careful. Left on this Undying as well. Yeah, I mean, really well done, Enigma. It started off with just being about the tower, and now there's a 3-stack on the hard camp you just took away. You're forcing them to all rotate now for this ancient stack. Even though it's not a ton, you don't want to give up any free farm.
So Secret, and they need to come together and push down this mid lane. Right? Them farming, it's not gonna work out. They're slower at farming than the enemy side. They are gonna get picked off at some point. You're just waiting for this Shadow Shaman to get a blink at some point and start murdering everybody. And things are not looking great, right? The timing of your lineup is pretty much now when the Pango finishes his defusal. That's 300 gold away.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get something going here. And you know, every Pango, once you get the defusal, you feel a little bit invincible, right? People just aren't able to cast as many spells anymore. But this one, there's a lot of mobility, of course, from these heroes. Skewer, Dawn with the hammer. So it's not quite as easy to kind of get people in a position that they can't get out of.
There it is. They're bringing the heroes to the mid lane. Smart from Secret. Exactly what you need to do. And they placed a ward behind the tower. So jump them first. That is the play from Secret. Don't allow the Magnus to initiate the fight and pull you back. Like, if you see a hero jump the first, place a tombstone and the tower will be yours. Maybe Enigma Galaxy even decided it's not worth it. I mean, considering the preparation from Secret, it's not.
Oh! The Core, yeah, I mean, a little bit. He is going to get a kill out of this one, but did end up losing the wisdom.
Now they're going to defend the mid lane.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, that should have been a tower.
Heritage isn't careful. Yeah, no, Cloud is the one who's not careful. He's going to get gone on here. Hookshot coming all the way forward, but the damage is already too much. Cloud goes down. Ghost didn't even need to hit him. The relocation from Nigma has been very good.
But at least he has the Ceaseless Dirge. If the Undying is dead there, then it's a problem because you lose the tower. But fortunately for them, Ceaseless Dirge will allow them to go in again.
Ghost. Oh no.
Look at how important this tower is. We've got 10 heroes. Even the Dawnbreaker is in the vicinity, and she can get in with the ulti. There's no Rolling Thunder. You fight now or never. Oh, he got him.
Yeah, what a beautiful initiation in from Sumail. In with the Dawnbreaker ult immediately.
Secret, you need to run.
He just never stood a chance on Secret to take this fight. Now Noob continuing the onslaught. They're fighting in the Tombstone, but does anybody care? Because I don't think so. That's 4 dead. They get the gold from the Tombstone as well. Nigma, beautiful patience from them.
Disaster. This is why you do not go towards the bottom lane to kill the Elder Titan. You finish that mid lane tower off. You had a great position. You were there. But the second that the Rolling Thunder was used, that is a mistake that Enigma Galaxy utilized perfectly. They killed the Undying twice. They win these fights quite a lot. But now, I mean, Secrets, all the things that made their lineup strong are taken away. Like, they're just taken away. I'm not sure what they do. It has to be now them relying on this bank on the Trayboy as a performance of his life.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was just bad in my mind, right? Like that tombstone was not doing anything. It seemed like they tried to go on the Sven. They wanted to keep it going. I mean, the tomb was borderline useless for the whole fight. A Clockwork and a Drow sat in the same spot where they could both get RP'd. That's never good.
I thought you were gonna be making a joke up, like a Clockwork and the Drow, and then I don't know
yeah,
what
Clockwork and a Drow walk into a bar and both get absolutely murdered.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually kind of fun, even though it's not, right? So
it's bad. It's not what you want from Secret, and it feels rough because I feel like so much of this game, it was okay. We both liked them being aggressive, even though they were losing 2 wisdoms, taking this mid tower away. As even worse for Sumail to play the game, right? These blink initiators, they want to play around the towers, drag back to your team, and now that's an option still available for Sumail.
okay, so let's think a little bit about Secret. What should they be doing? Oh boy, I'm having a block here, and I can see everything on the map. Okay, they play some aggressive vision. I like that. Play aggressively, force out TPs from Enigma Galaxy, and then get this tower. Open up your map. Okay, I don't mind their supports being on the aggressive. This is actually quite smart.
Stunned up, Puppy. He could get away from this one. The bug grenade.
Not connecting.
Looks like he's good for now, but Sumail, yeah, he finishes off the kill.
He just doesn't miss. I haven't seen him miss this shockwaves. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Dire's top
He
tower
knows.
is under
He knows.
attack.
He's got the unit target. Somehow he hacked the game. Just always heading in. And now he's very close to his Aghanim Scepter, I believe. So gonna be even better for him to kind of get these aggressive moves on the map. I'm surprised it's not like the harpoon type of build. But of course, Horn Toss, really good whenever you want to make sure that these guys are coming away. No displacement items.
It's obvious that this is the style of Dota that he wants to play with the Magnus. He did the exact same thing in the previous game, so he wants to catch people, and I like it because in this one and in the previous one, the wave control is just much better on Enigma Galaxy.
Yeah. 2 times in a row, right? It feels like their waves have always been in check, and they've never been like too scared to shove, especially with this Magnus, right? He doesn't have to put his body on the line in order to get this taken care of. Almost everybody on Secret has to put their body at least close to the wave in order to get the kills.
Oh, Secret knows that this ward behind the mid lane towers is expiring for them, so they have to get it, right? At least they have a really deep ward seeing the Sven, so that is a nice kill if they can get it. Solar Guardian
Could be. Tombstone as well. Should have the chain stun. Oh no, the fish, they're getting involved in it, and now they stun up long enough for Sumail to get the RP, drag them away from the
Rolling
Tombstone.
Thunder is late.
Again. It's as if the Tombstone isn't even a factor in these fights anymore. Sumail's just dragging them all away from it. Now he's hexed up. They're going to fight under. And this poor rival Pango, he's also going to fall. It's a monster kill streak for Sumail so far. And another 4 heroes go down on Secret.
You can see the desperation on Secret. They know, they know, like, guys, the things that our lineup was supposed to do, it didn't do it. So what do we do now? We have to run at them. It's our best bet. I wouldn't even be mad if they call GG. Now, I do think that Drow Ranger in the later portions of the game, she can make a difference, but it just seems that the other heroes in this game, they just cannot find their place. That's just not, they cannot do what they were designed.
I feel like they didn't have a great idea of where everybody else was on Enigma. Somebody needed to time a face check actually this Magnus, make sure there wasn't an RP drag away, because that was the only way they win this fight, right? By taking him away from the Tombstone and making sure that you could just section off Ghost and allow him to hit.
And now
Really
you lost that
right
vision as well. You lost that deep vision that allowed you to jump the Sven. You lost the ward behind the mid lane tower. Like everything that you worked towards, it didn't work out. So I'm still now down for a Secret the same. You can place that deep ward, but use only your supports to try and get a reaction from Enigma Galaxy. I know that if they are patient, if they're smart on Enigma, they might just kill your support and move away, but it's your best bet to try and get reactions, try to force out spells with your supports, and then once they are back, go and fight. Drow did get an Aghanim Scepter, so her damage output is quite high, but absolutely no survivability on the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, that's I want all in,
All
right?
in, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what it feels
all in.
like.
kill a target from 100 to 0, you are gonna be stopping the healing from the Dawnbreaker. So that's what they're gunning for, and I'm completely fine with that. You might not have another choice.
Yeah, I mean, good for Curious though. I mean, if he has this, oh no. Yeah, no, Cloud. He is just. I guess the good thing for us is that we did get that pause 5 and 9 that we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, man, if you do not know this matchup through and through in a 2 versus 2 and you're not 100% certain that your Undying is going to be crushing that one, don't do it. Like, just don't do it. And, well, they did it.
Darn. It's so hard for him. And yeah, I mean, Drow, if she is allowed to scale in this game, right, like Aghanim Scepter is such a potent damage item. As you said, like, there's not a lot of survivability. If we recoup one of these kill streaks on Nigma Galaxy, give Drow the goal to get a Hurricane Pike and then maybe a Manta, then all of a sudden, like, this build is pretty solid. But right now, it's fragile. It's scary. She has to be able to hit from very far away. And now it looks like Secret, they could be trying to fight this one. They had the vision of it. Roll through, and they're trying to get the hook shot in, but the Cogs? No, the Cogs, they may have done more harm than good. Now Rival's getting out from the RP. As connection goes, he's still able to pick up the Aegis. They've already lost.
Curtis needs to run.
No Hurricane Pike, no Manta, no hope of living through this one. And Cloud being the only core left to fight it out. He's going to go down as well, just waiting on the high five from Noob. They're going to get almost a full team wipe. And Secret, I know what they're trying to do, but it certainly did not work in their favor.
Yeah, those Cogs from Puppey. I mean, I still don't think it changes much. Ghost would have popped the BKB either way and focused on the Roche, but it's still hella annoying that you're going into the Roche pit with the Pango. You think that this is finally your time to shine, to bounce around and destroy everybody, and then the Cogs just completely block you in. And Poppy actually finding an angle for that hook shot, hella impressive. But
yeah, that
I think
was really nice.
After that fight, I've lost all faith in Secret. It's very, very who knows, right? They might have been struggling.
I feel like actually it was 100% great cause. I think you could have actually changed on Ghost there in a way that he wasn't actually able to go for BKB and trying to would have had to commit Noob for it. And then afterwards, maybe a Cox could have like shuffled him away as he lands. Again, this is a really hard fight. I have no idea if they win it, even if those things go well, but certainly looking at it like a little bit of anti-synergy from their heroes right now.
If this wasn't the potentially last game of Secret in this tournament, that they probably would have figured out that, okay, we're gonna win the next one. But that's a good pickup. Finally something good for Secret. Get a hero off the map. They are back. The Solar Guardian was used. It's now. Let's go. Secret, go forward. You're going into an Aegis, but you have to do it.
Okay, gotta get something done. I mean, again, Kiritich looks like he is trying to finish out the Hurricane Pikes. That'll be his first weapon of choice. Undying going in for the Lotus. I almost wonder, should he be going for more of like a heal sustain type of thing for his team? Because it feels like once these Solar Guardians come out into the RP, your team is just never surviving through it.
You still need somebody to stand deep in the fight, right? If you are like, what happens if the Undying is behind the Drow? The Undying is behind the Drow. The Clockwork is behind the Drow. The Dark Willow is behind the Drow. Like, who's in front of the Drow? You're waiting for the Rolling Thunder to come forward, and you cannot go first with that. It just makes it impossible. So he needs to be running in. The Lotus Orb is one of those items that might actually force Nigma Galaxy to use more spells than they would like to.
Ooh. Puppey will end up going down, trying to create some space for his team here. He's getting the Essence Ring in his realm. Does he deny to the Ancients? No. Noob still gets a kill.
That was close, not close enough. However, look at the bottom lane. Enigma Galaxy are not done. They're now just hunting, and Samael has found more.
Oh, my lord.
It looks so cool.
This is one farm, Sven.
Dude, this looks so cool. Samael is just giving us a treat. I know that it is looking like a stomp game, and usually you do not like, enjoy them too much, but the Samael Magnus, just every small play, every mechanical thing, it feels like watching a Rise Magnus.
He's doing a great job. I mean, he's not even playing for his game most of the time. He is just like ulti scoring back, allowing his team to do this damage, even setting up for Noob, honestly, in some of these engagements. So really selfless play from everybody on this team, and you can see that it's working out for them.
I'm looking at Secret and really, the Dark Willow, she knew her job in this game. Get a Yule, stop the Magnus initiations when your Drow Ranger is pushing aggressively to attack the towers. It's just that you didn't get to that point, but I can see that Secret had a plan here. It's just that obviously they need a bit more practice to make these kinds of lineup work.
There it is, Horn Toss all the way back here into the stun. And there is not enough save in the world. Ghost, he'll get that kill. That was even with the crit stick backpacked. So it'll only get worse after the Aegis.
Yeah, now it's not gonna be a crit stick. It's gonna be a really big one because the full Daedalus is coming to him.
The crit bar.
Dire's bottom tower.
I guess. Dealing with the zombies and getting away. You know, a lot of those zombie apocalypse movies and series, people never wear armor. You can see Sven, he knows what's up.
That's true. Yeah, he's got some extra protection there. Zombieland 4, whichever one is coming up next. I actually have no idea. There's only been 2 Zombielands, right?
I haven't watched them. I need to get back into the series.
Okay, that's it.
Please, more riot gear or medieval armor. Like, learn from the first step.
Oh no, Cloud. You know, he's allowed to do that. You know, he's pretty far ahead right now. But yeah, didn't get the horn toss on anyone. Now maybe creating a little bit of information for the rest of Secret to TP away.
I feel like it's gem time for Nigma. Like, Elder Titan, he's thinking about Boots of Bearing, and that is great versus the slows of the Tombstone and the machine pressure. But I feel like get a gem, make sure that they don't see you.
Oh, nice, creating an outlet there. Ghost after putting in some good work. I mean, that is a Ghost and Sven.
He's alone versus 5 of them, and they cannot go on him. That is how scared they are.
Yeah.
But they can maybe find the backlines.
There's 4 melee heroes. What backlines? I feel like everything is the front line now. Noob, even as the Starbreaker doing so much, trying to get the force that away. The Ghost right on top of the Ghost, waking him up from his sleep and his slumber, rudely awakened as Ghost goes forward for the remaining members of Team Secret. It's already a double kill for him. 3 down, and this high ground is looking very vulnerable.
Dire's middle tower.
Play until the end, Secret. Good job, but you know, it's becoming pretty apparent that it's impossible for them to do anything. There's the gem now, also delivered to the Magnus. Maybe not even needed. We'll see if Nigma Galaxy are even leaving the enemy base.
The Hurricane Pike hit and the stun actually was more than enough time for Ghost to close the gap there, as the Hurricane Pike, or the Harpoon as well. This build, it could be good for Drow, but the places that Secret have been taking these engagements just have never been favorable for Kiritich.
Yeah, the Drow Ranger lineups, they work when you are in front, right? You're attacking the enemy tower and then your team is behind you. If you are constantly running forward, trying to find the formation, and there's no way that you're going to be able to hold it the way that you want.
Yeah. And now 27,000 net worth lead, 29 minutes in. It's about as high as it gets when it comes to a net worth lead, almost 1 per minute.
Magnus is hunting still. They have the Dawnbreaker ulti and, well...
Oh, no. Yeah, I think that was also a hook shot that missed, and Kiritich getting the force knife away, but Dawnbreaker just staying in on top of the Drow, keeping her involved. The horn toss to even keep her on the low ground. Goes with another kill. You could kill him right now, and you would still be down 7,000 net worth. Ghost gets a triple kill in this one. They'll walk up the high ground maybe one last time in this qualifier as Sumail. He's looking to bring Ghost back. That's an offlaner. It's an ultra kill for this Ghost right now. Give him the rampage. There it is. He rampages himself into the grand finals of this close qualifier. Nigma looking strong as ever.
They're gonna be coming to that one hyped up. I don't know if production can show it, but I think Sven one-shotted the Undying there. He just jumped on him and the Undying was gone, right? If there is a chance for a replay, I'd love to see that one. But it seems that our faces are more beautiful, Matt, so we're going to be transferring to that.
that was a wonderful game, man. I mean, I know that a lot of people maybe expected a little bit more out of the series with Nigma and Secret both kind of battling together, but at the same time, as we go into this grand final again, Nigma needed to show just how strong they are and how much they deserved to be with VP as they go into the next one. And I think because of how well they played, they didn't really give a lot of extra draft information away to VP as they were looking at this game.
No, they definitely didn't. And the thing is that they probably got hyped up after that series. You need it. You need the confidence. You need the build-up. You're going to have a lot of it, but there's also going to be a 2-hour break so that you're not overconfident because of it. So you're just going to be coming with that first game feeling good. And if I'm VP, man, I'm watching this, I'm thinking, man, they got a rampage. Okay, game one, we have to go all out. We have to beat them or at least slow down their momentum a little bit because Enigma Galaxy are going to be coming into that grand finals feeling a lot better than VP despite playing the extra series.
Yeah, honestly, a 2-hour break, it almost nullifies the lower bracket disadvantage, where usually you would only have like a few minutes really to prepare for the next match.
See, one shot.
You kind of tell you, oh my goodness, yeah. He was like, he just bought back into it. So this rampage that he got at the end on Ghost was actually out of killing this Undying twice.
I love the production actually gave it to us in the end. It was a one shot. Yeah, I saw correctly. I thought maybe he came in with half HP. No, he just killed him from 100 to 0 with one hit. That's dangerous.
Yeah, no, not a whole lot of armor on this team in general. The armor battle definitely won out from this Enigma lineup. And unfortunately for Secret, that does mean, of course, that they are eliminated from Esports World Cup contention. So they will unfortunately be saying goodbye. But the happiness for us is that we have an insane series coming up for you guys next. Again, it is going to be Enigma versus VP, a rematch of that upper bracket finals that happens so very often for us. But I mean, that last game, again, like we were talking about it already, 60-minute adventure. We had an IO that unfortunately picked up Aegis at the end. It feels like a few different turns in that one. Enigma are actually the ones waiting in the wing for VP to come through this lower bracket. So I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna see a 1-for-1 repeat. VP, they gotta be careful or else Enigma will overtake them from the lower bracket run.
They need to be careful for sure. I feel like that series is close, and for me, we already discussed it that VP is a team that you can find a way to read. They don't play a lot of different tactics, but what they do, they play perfectly, which means that you can prepare properly. And even if your preparation is not 100% in a best of 5, you are gonna be learning about them even more and how they play, their patterns, and that can give you an edge.
And you know, some people will say, you know, as you get into the later parts of a best of 5 or something, like, oh, it's basically a best of 3. Oh, it's basically a best of 1. No, we're basically looking at this point at a best of 9 essentially, or I guess best of 8 technically, with all of this that we've seen so far from them. Enigma Galaxy and VP in their last 2 games together, we had 2 games where Enigma ran the Bristleback, and then we had 2 games where VP, they were running both Dark Willow and the Pango. So we're coming into this one not really seeing a lot of meta bans maybe, but we're going to see some stuff that we already saw in these last 2 games getting taken away. Opening up, maybe we see TA get picked up in this one since it's not as much of a priority. Maybe we actually see the IO come back into play. It's hard because there's so much on the table now that you don't want to play against.
One game, there's going to be a TA. One game, there's going to be an IO. I'm calling it now. It might be my fanboy speaking from me, not the analyst part of it, but I think in a best of 5 you can let it through because the idea is break your opponent, beat the IO, then they won't pick it and you don't have to ban it. Beat the TA, they pick it, you don't have to ban it. It is a viable way to approach a best of 5 series.
No, definitely just take out what they want to play. And guys, again, we're gonna go to a very long break. It's gonna be about 2 hours. So get some food, depending on where you are, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Maybe get a nap in there, but be back here in 2 hours for our grand final best of 5 in the closed qual. It's going to be, again, Enigma versus VP. We'll see you here right after the break.
What the problem was for VP in that one, and I feel like they had solid control of the game for the majority
They did.
of it.
They did.
And, yeah, so I kind of feel like they're getting into this game with an advantage, not gonna lie, right? How did they lose? They lost because the Morphling caught him off guard with the Dark Willow and with an Aghanim Scepter, but they ignored the Morphling for the majority of the game. They were like, yeah, the Drow is gonna kill him, who cares? And then they got outplayed by, what was it, four Ghost Scepters, and of course him having the Aghanim Scepter. I don't think there's room for something like that in this one. I think the timings of VP in this game are a little bit more straightforward. Butterfly and the Medusa, go go go, and the game, right? So in my mind, VP got the better end of the stick.
I don't love the cliche, but it did feel like in that game that VP lost that one more than Nigma won that one, just because of how much they were ahead in it. But at the same time, like, that's been kind of the tale of these two guys playing against each other. The team that is leading, I think, more often has lost than won.
That's gonna change in this series, right? Because the two teams have evolved, Matt, and now the one that is leading is not gonna be letting go of that lead.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta hope not. Could be.
It's fine.
Looks like in this one, yeah, it was max about 7,000 net worth lead at 40 minutes, which isn't a ton. But then it was that Roshan fight, right, where it was just like a Morphling turning up with the Aghanim Scepter, and there was a lot of damage.
The battle.
Rain really hates GH. He was just running towards him, trying to apply as much damage as possible. But overall, we get to see 3 runes.
Two in an
Two
obs.
for 2. Yeah. They did the word that obs. It was kind of obvious with the way that the Morphling was positioning himself. When you could activate Watchers, then you wouldn't have to rely on your vision. But now, when you have to, when you can't activate them any longer before the creeps start, then you have to have a ward if you are to break a smoke. And breaking it with a Morphling usually just signals, yo, there's something wrong here.
Yeah. I love this build from the Medusa, actually. In my own games, as a bad player, I've also been going for the Coiling Blade instead of the triple Iron Branch. I feel like the Coiling Blade stays in your inventory a lot longer. And people kind of, they haven't been using the Coiling Blade to farm more efficiently as of late. They've just been taking the stats and running with it. So I like the more finesse going around those camps on the map.
Of course. I mean, I'm an old school Dota player. I mean, Quelling Blade is very much nerfed nowadays, so people don't buy it as often. But you know, back in my day, it was a necessity for every single one of the heroes.
Absolutely. So good. Sometimes you had people buying too.
Yeah, when they misclick and double click.
I'll say this is a lane that Medusa also really does like. I mean, you have ways to trade with this runner that isn't necessarily just with right clicks. You also love any lane that you get a bunch of stick charges because it feels like you with mana, even versus a bristleback, will always take longer and better fights.
Yeah, pretty much, right? The Medusa has relatively high armor, has good agility gain, so every 2 levels you gain 1 armor, and you buy into a decent amount of stats, so you don't care much about the bristleback. There are times when you do get ran down, but generally this double lane with both the Wind Ranger and the bristleback is not good versus the Medusa. She should do just fine.
Oh yeah. And GH, getting vacuumed back. This could be first blood here. One more hit, and Antara is once again getting the first blood. I feel like I said that a lot yesterday as well. And
the guy's just good. This offlane, double offlane of EP is something that's super scary, right? The Hawk and Antares, they're so good at playing these lanes. I would imagine VP maybe practices the 2 versus 2 lanes because they're amazing at it.
Oh, go! Oh. No shot. This guy's is he the same one that got the kill on Morphling yesterday as well?
Yesterday he killed them both. He killed both the AA and the Morphling after the Hawk died. This time around though, the Hawk didn't have to die for him to be able to do it.
They've made some slight improvements in the trading department there, and he is an absolute monster on the Dark Willow. Already a pretty sizable lead for them, despite it being just 3 minutes in. And they need that. I think the core matchups on Nigma are actually pretty good here. I don't think this bristleback has been effectively dealt with as we saw yesterday. I think this Medusa has a very good time getting her items, but you know, versus the Morphling and versus the Puck, I think it's possible to out-tempo her.
Definitely. It definitely is possible, but overall, if Medusa has a good start and gets her timings, these heroes don't do anything to her. Right? That is what Nigma has to think about, and I think it's very important that they're making sure that the Medusa isn't having a lot of CS. I mean, Bristleback is making sure of that.
Yeah, and I guess it is like you don't really have a diffusal builder. It's something that theoretically can get built on Morphling, but it's not in the repertoire, right? Like you really want the Manta, you really want the Vlads. Diffusal would come so much later, and I don't even know if it's worth it at that point.
Only if you want a disperser, which isn't bad in this game, but
it is. Yeah, it's
overall, it's you shouldn't be thinking towards that diffusal. You need to find different ways to kill this Medusa or kill all of her friends and leave her for last.
True. That's real.
You have an AA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medusa is a hero that doesn't actually scale up as much with the damage anymore because you have to be so cognizant of your mana pool. So like you want to go for these like Manta butterflies if you can, but even then a lot of the time you might end up needing a BKB to make sure you're not losing all that mana from other diffusal blades or stuff like that. Sometimes you end up needing to go like a mobility item like Hurricane Pike. You just don't do as much damage right away unless you are going right in for like a crit.
No, your strength comes from tankiness, your ability to stand your ground and mow down towers because you are so tanky that the enemies are dissuaded to go for you. And in this game, that's gonna be an issue if the Medusa has a really good time, which for now doesn't seem to be the case. He's having an okay time, but definitely not a very good one.
Yeah. Is this a whole new day for Noob? Because I feel like last time again, like we saw really rough bristleback games. Just the straight up matchup already felt pretty bad for him. Now, though, I mean, his lane is going well. He's not getting sacked. I wonder if Nigma actually try to like change the way they drafted this, or maybe they just looked at the straight up laning stages to see what they can improve.
I think they looked at it. Oh, misses on the power shot. Omar there. Maybe he could have gotten the kill. I think after yesterday's games, they really looked at it, and Noob and Omar have been having a little bit of trouble in the laning stage, in particular in let's say in the last year or so, but overall looking solid.
Oh,
That's
Omar.
Omar.
Rain getting a nice kill here. Got the sampler going on the tusk. Really well done from him.
Radiant's top tower.
Yep,
is
beautifully
under
done.
attack.
His shards have really been on point in a way that Windrun is used. He uses the max range shards, keeps him in place long enough for the Windrun to expire, and then he can do his work. Smack him in the face.
Well, they're bringing a lot of people over here for the 6-minute rune. Lornov in a bit of danger, and Tars he's going to be the one forced to pick up the regen rune. And with the coil down to Sumail, he should get the kill on Lornov. Now turning to Antares as well, but with the Shadow Realm, Gold is back away here. Sumail, they help him out, get the kill, and he's got to be happy about that.
You got the main target. This is what you want. The puck is 500 gold ahead of the DK. Okay, this is actually game losing, and this is weird, right? Because Lornov, he's a hell of a DK player.
He played some very good lanes yesterday. We were actually to the point where we thought maybe Sumail wasn't exactly king of the mid lane anymore with how good he was playing. Now in a matchup that absolutely should not be puck favored. Yeah, he's doing so well.
Doing amazing, right? And this is the thing. This DK, his main purpose in this game is keep down the puck, and he hasn't been able to do so. So a very farmed puck, a very high level puck paired with an AA is a Dragon Knight's worst nightmare. He's just gonna die over and over again to that.
Radiant are
It's going to come down to even a BKB timing at that point, making sure you can at least run away when the coil gets thrown down. But one of the beautiful things about puck, right, if you continue to scale with the level, scale with your items, you will be a solo carry in the game. Puck, coil, get it to pierce, spell immunity, have a lot of right click damage. You're the machine. You win.
And they have pretty crappy catch for a puck in this game, right? So
And a puck that was first picked, by the way. It's really up to the DK at the moment. And Noob, he's shooting out the snot rockets, but they bring in Sumail. Actually, another coil down. Noob ends up falling, but how much can they get in return for it? And Tars is going to get assassinated by the Windrunner. And Puck really, I mean, helped out there. Didn't get as much as he wanted. He's going to try to come back into the mid lane. Be ready for this next rune.
You know, we were talking about the side of VP being, it's going to be very hard for them to kill the puck, but also without the AA blast, Enigma Galaxy are going to have a hard time killing anybody. Not going to lie, and even with an AA blast, this Medusa pretty much doesn't die.
Oh wow, Lornov
an A.
completely forgetting about the rune. Yeah, just once the kill gets it. And the Hawk, he actually managed to run top and get the Invis rune, so Sumail doesn't even get any charges from this.
And speaking of the Hawk, look at his net worth. Man, he's having a grand time, and it seems that the pipe is going to be the first item. With the pipe, and especially a very early pipe, AA blast puck, 0 damage. They're not going to be doing anything, so...
Even better for the Medusa, right?
How did they allow him to have this good of a time on the Hawk? This is way too much net worth.
Yeah, I mean, already that dress just going right in for the pipe. It'll come out very early. And as you said, it feels like that could be the winning formula if you're seeing such a good time on Noob here. Oh no, dude. Ryan actually sniping the Mad Stone from that last creep. That's crazy.
That's pretty annoying. But overall, I'm already scared for Enigma Galaxy, right? There are some things that went good for them, but especially there in the mid lane, but everything else looking really, really bad. And imagine what would have happened if Lornov had a bit of a better time in the mid lane. Right now, this game would be completely out of control.
It would, not something that VP does well, right? The laning stage, so good for them. And it looks like with the Vanguard already complete on Bristleback, this is nice. But there's still a decent amount of magic, or at least just spell damage coming out from them so far. So not invincible quite yet. They're going to try to go on the DK here. A lot of damage from the Windrunner. GH trying to strip away the strength. But Sumail, now he's the one that's in danger. Sun,
they got him.
Double stun with the Dragon Tail. They get the kill. He's just gone. They're really taking advantage of the support rotations here from VP.
And that is that puck that had a pretty good time in the mid lane. I mean, he's still okay in terms of net worth, but this is what happens when you try to kill the DK before you have an Ice Blast. At some point, if there is a response, he will be tanky enough to survive through your damage. And now this is the result. You lost your puck. You're probably going to be losing your mid lane tower, even if you don't. The timings, they were just slightly off there from Enigma.
A little bit. Just a little bit. And it's only going to get worse, right? The more and more you throw your bodies at this DK trying to get your levels, the more and more you feed and the more you fall behind. They're going to have a little bit of a rough time.
Unfortunate for Enigma Galaxy. They seem to have forgotten just how good VP can be.
Omar, he's going to turn around with the Windrunner, but it'll be the last thing he does, I believe. A nice assassination try, but Ryan now maybe in a bit of danger. No, beautiful shards actually keep him separated for now. Noom not able to run up the high ground and actually scared. That is his triangle, by the way, that he's unable to contest right now.
Does it look like his triangle? I wouldn't agree, man. This triangle right now belongs to VP. They will them taking the mid lane tower, their ability to invade this triangle is actually quite high, and you can see that the MESWA is constantly aggressively pushing out that bottom lane. Farming those stacks is not going to be easy.
Yeah. And Darkseid was able to take his own with just tossing ion shells on the ancient creep. So like the staunch difference between these two teams and how they're going to recoup this farm. It's going to have to be Bristle right now, but he kind of wants to stay here and prevent Medusa from getting everything for free. Once again, we get the coil. Looks like they have the IAA blast. Yeah, it's going to connect. It just doesn't feel like they're missing a little bit of damage. And now the fear from Antares, it lets the DK get away. They won't even get the kill. Oh, no.
Man, these Dark Willows today, they're doing really well. That was some awesome positioning from Antares, and I mean, his Dark Willow, especially in this qualifier, has been a hard thing to deal with. You just need to be in a good position. Your most aggressive hero right behind him, and you can almost always save him. The Terrorize has such a huge AoE that getting it on multiple heroes usually is not going to be a problem.
He's going to be one of those heroes that as we traverse this best of 5, meta be damned, this is a hero you just don't want to play against, and Antares has shown maybe is better even than some of the meta heroes we're seeing right now. So I think this could be something that Nigma consider later, but for now, you got to find a way to deal with it. Sumail, he's going to be the one to pop the smoke here. Seeing Lornoff, but if Lornoff gets this stun, he's going to get it.
They got him.
Trying to juke him out with the phase shift, but Sumail, he doesn't even get to go to the orb. Another kill on him, and I believe that's 3 deaths now for the puck. That's a little rough.
Definitely. From a guy that was ahead of the DK, now is 700 goal behind, and they immediately go towards Noob. This is the second time today that we see him completely forget that they can just beeline towards him.
Oh no, yeah, and this is going to be right on top of the stacks. VP, they're not going for the win. They're going for an absolute smackdown. They have 4,000 net. This Ice Blast, once again, it connects. But where is the damage? The assassination, is it going to be enough?
It's close. It's not gonna be enough.
Really close.
Oh,
And it's not. It hit after the Ice Blast was down. No, Ryan, he's still safe. And with the tranks, he's gonna be right back to full in no time.
Oh, the reason he lived there was the infused raindrop, right? Because the power shot did such a small amount of damage that it didn't take him over the threshold, but it was so close. And now GH is being punished by Lornoff, who's revealing his Blink Dagger in the mid lane.
That is punishing.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That's going to be another kill for them here. Lornoff is eating good. It feels like, as you said, like the puck had a really nice start to the mid lane, but it is just completely evaporated. He had some supports help him out. He did some really nice blink initiations, killing this AA, and now it's so free for him.
He doesn't even have the Witchblade. Once he does finish that one off, you have to continue going for these plays. You have to continue thinking that with an AA blast, there isn't a hero apart from Medusa on the map that you cannot kill. If the DK becomes this hero that you cannot bring down with a coil and an AA blast in a solid positioning, your lineup falls apart. You have nothing to play with.
Should it be a Mage Slayer coming here for the Dragon Knight then to help out with that fact? Where's the
He
pipe
might
enough?
be going for a BKB.
Yeah?
He might go for a BKB considering that the game is going really well for him. You can see that he's not giving up anything. I'm thinking he just buys an Ogre X now.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, with the pipe from Dahak, it feels like you have more than enough protection for yourself right now. The damage just doesn't feel impactful at all from Nigma.
He's queuing it up. He's queuing the Mage Slayer.
Okay.
So
I mean, then the damage is going to be non-existent.
Yep. You won't touch him. There's the smoke from Nigma. And this is something that they used versus Secret, and Secret responded to it quite well, and then Enigma adjusted in the next game. But you're going towards a Medusa that is pretty much full on mana and has a great healing Lotus. Oh man, VP are already ready. Don't go for it. If they go for this, it's gonna be a disaster.
You got to sweep this tower, and when you sweep this tower, you should find other supports around and know that you cannot take this fight.
Okay, they gave up. They're going towards the mid lane. They're waiting for somebody there, and we'll shove out the wave. That is the smartest choice. If you see it's taking too long, that the enemies seem prepared, shoving out the waves is always your best bet that will prepare you for the next move.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, that's that may have done 100 damage to the tower.
I like your may have because it probably didn't.
I know, right? The guy is actually like at such a disadvantage. Look at that, 50 damage per hit. I don't even know if he got that many off. And now it looks like they do have the bristle again deep in enemy territory. They've got a coil on the darks here, but the pipe, it's keeping him alive for now. If he's able to surge away from this one, yeah, the barrier, it'll keep him alive. They've lost nothing. Enigma, they're so deep on enemy lines to try to make this happen.
A glimmer and the pipe. You are not dying to magic damage. It's gonna be a mage slayer. At the moment, Enigma Galaxy have nothing apart from magic damage. This Morphling is gonna have to get involved. He is very close to the Manta, so that is the cue where Ghost could get close, and then with the help of the Nasal Goo, you might actually have damage to kill some of these tanky DP heroes, because magic damage is just not gonna cut it anymore at this point.
For sure, it's gotta be physical damage. You can see his net worth is fine, but the issue is that the rest of your team, it is not fine. Sumail's been having a really rough time out of this mid lane. Bristle as well, at least in some way. Sumail. Oh no, he gets stunned up again. Zoranov is absolutely on point with these dragon tails. They'll get the kill, and Tara is picking it up. He is dominating on the Dark Willow.
I think Sumail though made a mistake there, right? He had an illusion rune, and he had the waning rift after he used the phase shift. He used the phase shift, and I think he panicked the second he came out, got stunned up. If you go waning rift immediately after the phase shift, you're fine. But it happens. It seems that the Enigma Galaxy, the momentum they carried from the previous series is just not holding up in this one.
And maybe we needed much less of a break. Maybe we wanted that momentum to just slide right in. All right, no break whatsoever.
Not gonna lie, the 2 hours made me sleepy, so I can maybe the same happen to Enigma Galaxy.
It could have. As VP though, they're well rested. They definitely learned as much as they needed to, seeing more and more about how Enigma have been playing in this lower brackets. With a 6,000 net worth lead, it seems like things aren't slowing down. They have a Tormentor coming up soon. They have a Roshan that's available now, but they see no interest really to try to take those. They just want to kill more.
See if Enigma Galaxy can kill something, because things really haven't been working out. When you have 2 kills within AA 18 minutes in, it shows something's wrong. This time around, they're not ready to defend the Medusa, and there is a very nice deep ward.
Radiant
See, V-Tune is still not an easy target, man.
There's a lot of TP still available, even if you do manage to get this. V-Tune, he knows that somebody is around. Silence up. Nobody started to TP in yet. That is some mad confidence to be like, there's a puck behind my tier 1 at 18 minutes, and we just don't care.
5 heroes, man. 5 heroes of Enigma Galaxy, and V-Tune just stands there. Look at that Tusk coming from the side. They're sandwiching Enigma. They want him, and the tower is healthy enough to be able to fight.
They want more. They just gave him some mana boots, so he's back to a pretty hefty HP. He's still got a greater healing lotus, the wand available. And Roshan already dead. They're going to try to continue this one. AA down. No more Ice Blast for this one. Ghost, he gets caught in the wall and locked on in. Look at the damage. He just disappears. That water evaporates, and they get themselves 2 easy kills. It did take the buyback, though, of Tusk.
Yeah, not really necessary. Maybe if the Roche was on the bottom side of the map, then sure, you walk into the pit with the tag team, but this way it doesn't really make a lot of sense that he buys back. Either way, they understood. The idea was defend that tower, bring as many heroes, and make sure that Enigma Galaxy, they do not get their objective. Managed to do it.
Only on the Tusk. Doesn't feel like it was much worth it in the end. And I have no idea how it goes. It feels like he just completely disappeared. I don't know how there was so much damage there.
Well, if you look at VP, right, they are actually quite strong. Bedlam, Ion Shells,
true.
A lot of these heroes want to get super super close, so it's not easy to morph through that when you have 4 or 5 heroes attacking.
Oh my god. And he uses the Ice Blast, but I don't think it really mattered. Unless Sumail maybe gets a kill out of this one, but look at that, the pipes. It feels like the Hawk himself is keeping everybody alive on VP.
Yeah, him and Antares. Antares does have a glimmer.
Oh, what's going on here? I mean, he's gonna get a lot of goose sacks out, but yeah, the kill immediately. They trade right away from that. Sure, that's his dieback, but you're trading support for core.
He's happy to get that dieback out of the way right now so that he is not dead later on when his life is really needed when it's maybe Roche fights or something along those lines. I guess he's gonna get a shard for his troubles, even though Antares would be a better one.
Yeah, that's true. I did look back at the kill breakdown for the Morphling bot side. Do you know which hero did the most damage to Morphling by a long shot in that engagement?
Dark Willow?
It was Dark Willow. Long shot. It was 400 damage from the ulti, another 300 from just the raw Shadow Realm attack. And Antares is an actual, like, he's a monster in these games.
Yeah, at some point people are gonna start banning out this Dark Willow, right? I understand, like, oh, it's the only position 4, that's why they're picking it. No, it just seems pretty good right now.
He's good. It feels like you can build everywhere, right? He's going for a vessel right now. This is not a standard Dark Willow item, but with the Glimmer, with the Greaves, and then this pipe that the Dark Willow or the Darkseer has, it seems like he's never gonna die.
Yeah, he's gonna be fairly tanky on his side, and you don't really want to be using the AA blast on him. Plus, every fight that is starting, it's starting off on somebody else. He's waiting with the Terrorize. Only when the Terrorize is used does he make a decision to go forward. So, very, very hard hero to bring down, most definitely.
That's the benefit of the lineup, right? I mean, you have a Darkseer, DK, and a Tusk all standing in front of you. Hell, even a Dusa at most points. Antares can really wait the entire fight to see exactly the opportunity you want to jump in on.
I don't know, man. Every time that you speak, I feel like it started a joke. The walking into the bar stuff. Again.
It does feel like a joke right now because they keep walking in and nothing good ever happens, man. Nigma, they've got to find a way to get their cores involved in this one, but it seems like so far it's been beating their head against a wall, trying to make these same moves happen with no success. Oh, no.
Oh, he did even less damage this time around.
I think it's like the 3rd time he's focus fired the mid lane tower. I think each time it's less and less damage. That is a distracted fire.
Yeah, I am beating my previous record. This time around, only getting 1 arrow in with a focus fire.
It's so hard. I feel bad for Omar. I generally don't know what else he does with the zero right now because it's not like his team is willing to fight on the map at the moment with this much of a deficit.
Yeah, usually when you're a Wind Ranger with a kill shot, you want to be killing people, right? That's the goal. Unfortunately, not in this one. And Medusa did make a bit of a different approach than what we usually see with the Butterfly. He went for a Skadi because in this game, it is a lot of magical damage as well on Nigma. So you want to prevent that. You want full-on stats.
Right, so far, it feels like your team hasn't had a problem killing people yet. Your damage. I think he's allowed to do this. Now, it's weird because you don't do much damage to Roche. They're going to be in here for probably a full minute trying to kill this, whether or not it's worth it.
Yeah, considering that 25 to 30 minutes is your timing to just mow down tier 2s, I'd say this makes it so that you aren't afraid of anything right now. At this point, the Medusa, even on her own, while her team is just making a move somewhere else, can hit the tower, and it is a question if Enigma Galaxy will have the guts to even attempt to push him back with them.
Blowing off with the gem as well. The map is about to disappear. If you're Enigma Galaxy, you'll have no wards. And honestly, if they play around this Dusa with Aegis, I don't know if you're gonna have any towers left. It'll just be the first Aegis, and I think they can take all tier 2s if they really put their mind to it.
No, you can't stop her at all. And one big difference in this game and the other VP Enigma games that we've seen yesterday is that Enigma doesn't have good vision in this one. VP, they came prepared. They listened to our stream and they're like, yeah, they beat us in vision, so now we're gonna be buying the gem earlier and just making sure that doesn't happen.
Yep. Game 2, we'll see a Zeus, you know, even more. Take away the vision. Oh my goodness!
What now? What now,
I
hater?
He got 5 hits.
What now, hater? Yeah, that's what I thought.
What now, hater? Finally got himself a tower for this one, and combo it with a fortification. They will protect it for now, but Lornov, he doesn't even care. I don't think that Lornov even wanted a tower. He's like convincing his team to just move forward so he can get deeper into the enemy base to kill this AA.
Oh, they're hunting Omar. They really hate him. Their eyes off the mark.
They do, but is there? No, okay, yeah. With the Bedlam, way more than enough damage. Antares, once again, helping to get that kill. And Nigma, they're trying to push these waves out, but none of them have a real easy way to push these lanes. Maybe AA, but he's not even getting out of the base. Lorenov is finding him. Now they're finding Noob. He's trying to spin across the goo. He's got himself the Glimmer to help out as well, but he's so slow. This is the bristleback that is this slow. I feel like
Everybody's slow. Yeah, they're slowing him down with a shard from the Hawk. Sumail, he comes over.
He does. He coils in time to watch his friend die and then has to run away. He's got a Lincoln Sphere, and honestly, Sumail's net worth is no longer in a poor spot, right? I feel like they've actually stabilized this game in some way, but still, they don't have the items necessary to actually do damage to these cores on VP.
Yeah, the momentum is just not theirs. And this is what I was talking about. Legion is in front of the enemy base. They know that he has no friends, and you can't do anything about it.
This is a bit of a disaster right now. I mean, he's got damage to mana. It is 4. So with that greater healing Lotus, you're looking at about 1600 essentially effective HP. A full 21 is another large amount. And I just also, what is it with VP? I swear, VP is like attacking the server from Glemini to not be able to connect.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna cast it for you. The tier 2, that one already fell, right? And now they're pushing the tier 3, right? Because
okay.